Congratulations to the Spring Creek Lady Spartans. They win in a championship state title game against the Elko Indians at LOWRY Event Center. I don't know about you, Roy. It's state championship time. The boys are coming up next. Are you ready?
I am excited, Chad. This place has been loud already, and I got to tell you, I see a lot more people in here than I have for a lot of you in our games. It's going to get loud.
Let's get this going.
This is 1240 Radio Sports coverage.
9-point lead for the Indians. Back the other way and across the timeline, Jenkins giving it up to Nat.
Of NIAA basketball.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Big games, he has to play solid defense and rebound the ball.
This is
State.
3 teams, 1 shot.
Rebound taken down by Gleek. It's up and good. That's 4 offensive rebounds for the Elko Indians as they take the lead for the first time here early on. Tip back in bounds, save. Natty comes up with it. Back on the fast break. Left-handed lay-in is good. Oh, what a beautiful job of using this ball. Studebaker finds the back door down underneath all alone, and Dumas comes up with the block. Far corner now, and Dumas swings it around inside the Wallach. Three-pointer. Good. Honey, a Stowe with the pickpocket. Here comes Whitney Cook across the timeline, left to right, looking down low, finds Riddell all alone, good.
Ariana Edwards, Eddie as we call her, she's really been a surprise this year. You know, she was on varsity last year as a sophomore, and she had to play behind, you know, the likes of Stacy Kerr and Emily Hicks, so she didn't get a whole lot of experience last year, and just the way she's been playing all year, you know, she's been a huge bonus to our team. You know, it's Serena Thompson, she's a transfer move. Kira Floge and Chantel Anderson have really stepped up, you know.
Sprout to Dumas, up high.
Also a 10-point lead at 35-25.
Just take the ball to the basket. Right into the hands of Dumas. The rebound woes continue here for the Indians, just not getting position and blocking out. And
shot no good. Rebound Sprout. And Sprout's taking the ball for the bucket. She did. She scores it, and she is fouled.
The NIAA 3A State Basketball Championships presented by the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Farmers Insurance Group.
Shut up. The 2-3A state title game is on. It's the 2012 NIAA Class 3A State Basketball Championships presented by the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Farmers Insurance Group. Chad Harney with my partner Roy Haggerty, and as always, well, it is a pleasure to have you with us here this afternoon, broadcasting on 1240 AM KELK, 93.7 Jack FM, and worldwide at Network1Sports.com. And it's the Elko Indians, the number 1 seed in the 3A North, taking on the number 2 seed, LOWRY Buckaroos, and a team that we're all too familiar with. We've seen them twice already this year, and both games have been nail-biters. The first one in Elko. Elko jumped out to a quick early fourth-quarter lead, and were able to hang on for the win, but still a close game, Roy. And then on the road at LOWRY. And, oh, man, they hadn't lost at home yet. LOWRY was on a home game winning streak. They were undefeated there at the big gymnasium. It was packed. The student section was wearing thousands of black shirts that said, "All beat Elko." And guess what? I'm seeing those shirts in LOWRY Event Center here today, Roy.
Yeah, I see those shirts roaming around too, Chad. And not only that, I have a feeling this Spring Creek crowd's going to hang around and cheer for the Buckaroos in this last game.
Congratulations to the Lady Spartans, of course, making a big win and making it all possible. We're Family Dental and Dr. Barry Sorensen, Bauckham Real Estate, Bellfire, NNE Construction, The Watering Hole, Muley's, Divine Expressions, and, of course, our friends over at Eagle Mortgage. And, well, they're celebrating still over there on the sides. And, well, Spring Creek traveled pretty well to this game.
Oh, wow.
And we want to thank all the athletic administrators and everybody who...
Looks like they took advantage of the bus that they brought down, Chad.
Absolutely. So it's the NIAA Class 3A State Basketball Championship game here this afternoon. The LOWRY Buckaroos, Elko won both earlier tournament meetings. But you want to talk about a team with experience here in the big game, well, then you're talking about the Buckaroos. They've been here the last 4 years and have each time walked away empty-handed, Roy. Now, they will, of course, have some seniors on the team. Jesse Studebaker, he is one of their leaders. He's huge, 6'2", junior point guard, averaging 14.1 points per game. He averages 7.2 rebounds per game. and he is definitely a leader on the team and can really score against anybody. His numbers are deceiving because I've seen him matched up against Clekus. I've seen him matched up last night against the guys from Boulder City. He'll play anybody, anywhere. And, of course, with that experience of been here before, been here, done that, that's what you keep saying. He's got a little bit of an edge, I think, over the young, inexperienced freshman who, well, for the first time ever, playing at LOWRY Event Center.
Oh, without a doubt, Chad. I'm not going to lie. I got butterflies when I walked in here and seen the court, seen the atmosphere, heard the crowd. Like you said, like we've talked about, this is the 4th year in a row for LOWRY. They played on this court before. They played in Vegas. They played in front of lots of big crowds in this very same game. Nothing new to them. Here we have the young Indian team. They've come out. They've proven that they can play with this team. They've proven that they can beat this team. They came out, made a statement to the Northern AAA at home in Elko when they beat them. Then they went on the road and proved themselves in a hostile environment and win them up there. Chad, if they cannot get nervous and play their game, pressure defense, they're going to have a good shot at taking a title home tonight.
This is what you practice for all year. This is what you put so many hours in for all year long. This is why the parents dish out all that money to travel here, there, and everywhere to get to this point, the state championship game. It's coming up in mere moments. Oh, here's where you get excited now. They shut out the lights. They got the spotlights going and the smoke and the introductions for today's NIAA 2012 3A State Basketball Championship game presented by the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Farmers Insurance Group. Chad Hardy, Roy Haggerty courtside at LOWRY Event Center for the Elko Indians taking on the 20-6 LOWRY Buckaroos, the number 2 seed from the 3A North. Let's take a look at the starting lineups here, Roy, for the LOWRY Buckaroos. At the guard position, look at this, a 6'6 sophomore going to be starting. His name is Josh Watterson. He averages 11.7 points per game and 8 blocks. Number 11, Titus Milligan. He's a 6-foot sophomore guard, averaging 5.1 points per game. And number 20, Calvin Connors, a 5'9 sophomore guard, 7 points per game and 4.2 assists. The noise in the background is the large crowd here supporting the Elko Indians as they get their team introductions. And finally, at number 42, the 6'2 junior, he plays the post position. We've been talking about him all year long. Definitely going to be an all-state tournament selection. It is Jesse Studebaker, averaging 14.1 points per game and 7.2 rebounds per game.
It would be in Elko's best interest to find him early and put a man on him, Chad.
Absolutely. For the Elko Indians, and starting will be number 12, the 5'8 freshman running the offense. 8.4 points per game is what he averages. His name is Brandon Jenkins. Number 15, DJ Natty. He had a dunk last night that rocked Reno High School. Man, 6-foot senior, 6.5 points per game, 4 rebounds. He'll be playing down in the post. Nathan Clekus, the Elko Indians' leading scorer, averaging 14.7 points per game and 9.5 rebounds per game. Where's number 21? Another all-tournament selection right there, Roy. And Alan Honey Astua. We should just call him the Thief. He is leading all of the state in steals with 88, 7 points per game. He is, of course, the senior leader on this team. How he goes, the Indians go. We're looking for a big game from him. And down low will be 6'2 freshman Tim Mayo wearing number 34, averaging 4.8 points per game and 5 rebounds. We are set to tip it up. It all comes down to this. The Elko Indians, 23-6, 9-1 in league against the LOWRY Buckaroos for the state title, 20-6 and 7-3. Here we go, inside to tip it up, Studebaker and Clekus gets the tip. The Indians in white will be heading right to left, and across the timeline comes Jenkins. Jenkins terminates, gets it up to Clekus on the near wing, out to DJ Natty, swinging around the horn to the far side, and that's Brandon Jenkins. Now a shot taken just inside the three-point line, no good, but it's put back up by Clekus. Can't get it to fall, rebound taken down by Mayo. Mayo gets it back out to Honey Astua, and they'll get another chance to set it up here. DJ Natty going baseline now, looks, head fakes, jumps. They're going to call traveling before the shot, though, there, Roy.
Chad, he might have traveled, and it's only been one time down the court, but I'll tell you what, I really like what I see out of the Indians offense. The spacing's good and the passing's good, movement without the ball.
Just underway here in the first period, 7.5 minutes to go, first period, and here comes Studebaker across the timeline looking to get down low. Natty's there to block it and knock it out of bounds. It'll be LOWRY ball underneath their own basket, and it will be the Indians setting up in a, looks like man-to-man defense. They're following each other around there, so they're hooked up on somebody. Here comes the inbounds pass. Number 32 with it, Jordan Renas. He's looking for somebody, can't get it there, and they do call 5 seconds.
Great defense on the Indians.
The Indians there to cause the turnover. So there's number 1 of the afternoon, and here comes the inbounds pass to Jenkins. Jenkins will be working across the timeline against Calvin Connors, who is still out on him at midcourt. Now crossing half court and gets it to Honey Astua here on the near side. DJ Natty now in the corner. They'll get the top of the key to Clekus, swing it around the horn all the way to the far side, and Brandon Jenkins. Jenkins now on the dribble. Working against Connors, gets the top of the key to Honey Astua, driving the paint, puts it up off the glass, no good, but they're going to call a charging foul, and that will go against Honey Astua. They had position down low, and that was a nice defensive play by the Buckaroos.
That was a good defensive play, Chad. And you're going to come to expect those kinds of plays. We're in the state championship.
We played a minute in the state championship game here at Lawler Event Center. And here come the Buckaroos across the timeline. Brandon Eastman trying to get things going. He's working against Jenkins. They do it left to right now. And here comes Studebaker, number 21, up off the glass. That's no good. Excuse me, that was Brandon Eastman putting it up. And the rebound is brought down by the Indians. They're going to move it now right to left. Here's Honey Astua in the far corner, taking it to the hoop. Dishes off to Mayo. Head fake. Puts it up off the glass too hard. Rebound brought down by the Buckaroos. That's 3 trips down the floor, and the Indians have yet to make a basket. Almost taken out of bounds at midcourt by Honey Astua, but not quite. Still ruled Lowry's ball. That's 3 trips down, Roy. 3 good looks and 3 shots that just won't fall.
Well, I was going to say they've had 3 trips, but they've had 3 good looks. We're okay with that. If they're going to take good wide-open shots.
Here comes the Lowry Buckaroos. Studebaker driving in, kicks it out to Connors for 3. Good!
Well, there's the icebreaker.
Calvin Connors puts it down from the far wing, and he's got 3 points. Your first 3 of the ball game as Honey Astua comes across the timeline. Indians moving right to left. Here's Clekus now on the near wing, working against number 51. That's Dion Wardell, and Clekus will draw the foul as he tries to dribble around Connors, Wardell, who's a 6'2 senior, so they're matched up size-wise pretty good.
The Buckaroos are playing some really aggressive defense, Chad.
Are they going to call that against Clekus? They called that no, they didn't. They got it. Indians got it at midcourt. Here's the inbounds pass. It comes to Mayo. Mayo now to Clekus. Clekus double teamed. Will take the hop in the paint. Up and good. One hopper and puts it up with a floating jump shot there, Roy. That's a good move there.
That sure is.
I don't see anybody stopping that. If we can continue to do that, we're in good shape. Connors now across the timeline, and we'll set things up for the Buckaroos. They're looking to get it down into Studebaker. He's on the baseline, working, now has to kick it out to Connors. Connors, head fake, turn around, he's tipped, and how about taken away by Honey? Honey Astua's got it. Honey Astua gets the steal, brings it across the timeline. He's going to slow things up. Now drives baseline, puts it up, it's blocked. A nice block by number 21, Brandon Eastman. He was there to take it away from the senior, and they're back the other way, left to right across the timeline, and now wide open outside of three-point land. But Jenkins has got it. Jenkins up ahead, and will look to put it in with the left hand. He can't. He's fouled.
Oh, DJ Natty was calling for the alley-oop.
I saw that, and it looked like Jenkins was thinking about the alley-oop there, and just decided to take it in, draw the foul. We'll go to the line to shoot 2. Just underway. We are 5:13 to go first period and a 3-2 score. The Buckaroos on top. A 3-pointer by Connors put them in the lead. The first bucket of the ball game is Jenkins makes the first one to tie it up.
I'm going to go ahead and say it now, Chad. These free throws are a must. I know it's early in the first quarter, but we've talked about it all year long. When you get to the big stage, you got to make these things count.
Freshman at the line eyes the second one, and that's no good. And the rebound's taken down by Wardell. He's going to get it, of course, to Brandon Eastman, who brings it across the timeline. Now here's Studebaker. Studebaker gets the ball right at the point, looks to drive in, but travels with it. It'll be Indians ball back the other way after the whistle.
A little bit of jitters out there still, Chad. They may be seniors. They've been here 4 years, but this is still a big stage.
It is a huge stage and a good crowd here on hand at Lawler Event Center. Here comes Jenkins across the timeline after the turnover. 3-3 score with 4:56, just under 5 minutes in the first period. DJ Natty has it on the near wing. Top of the key to Clekus, who will drive in from 10. Take it. No good. Rebound fought for and ripped away by Studebaker. Mayo had position, but Studebaker muscled his way in and took it down. Here comes the Buckaroos back the other way and across the timeline, looking to take one in the paint. Up and good. No good off the glass. Too hard. Studebaker there for the rebound. Up with the left hand. No good. Rebound fought for. Clekus comes away with it. Gets it up ahead to Honey Astua across the timeline. A 3-on-1 back the other way. No look to Mayo. Mayo's got it off the glass. Good.
Way to push the ball.
Tim Mayo off the glass, off of the feed from Brandon Jenkins. A nice 3-on-1 transition game there for the Indians, who take the lead for the first time now. It's 5-3, 2-point lead coming up on the 4-minute mark in the first period. Here now working against Connors at the top of the key is Honey Astua. Gets a little too aggressive, and that's going to be a game 2 against Alan Honey Astua, and it looks like the Indians will give him a breather. Checking in will be Marshall Dumas, Brian Pearson, and Matt Driscoll, and a timeout on the floor as the media timeout. Hey, I like those media timeouts. We'll take it. It's 5-3, 4:07 to go, first period. Indians on top by 2. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to 1240 Radio Sports.
When you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, choose a name you can trust. It's Solis Auto Sales.
Back live, LOWRY Event Center. Chad Hardy, Roy Haggerty, 2012 NIAA Class 3A State Basketball Championships presented by the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Farmers Insurance Group. It's 5-3. Indians on top in the title game by 2 with 4:07 to go, first period, and it'll be Buckaroo's ball to inbounds midcourt. And as I said, checking into the ball game now will be Driscoll, Dumas, and Pearson for the first time this afternoon. Klekus and Honey Astua Jenkins will stay in.
Chad, one of the things I've noticed early is we haven't seen the Indians put on the full court pressure after a score.
Driving Josh Watterson goes baseline and puts it up off the glass for 2. No, we haven't. And Jenkins comes across the timeline. We'll see if we get that here now with Driscoll on the ball and with it at midcourt. Now it's Nathan Klekus. He'll swing it around to the near wing and back to Driscoll. Dumas now comes out top of the key. Will drive in, kick it back out to Driscoll, and he's going to walk with it. He just took too many steps.
Good call.
And that's just jitters here, because you usually don't see Matt do that. Matt Driscoll, the 5'9" senior, and you know he's excited about the state championship possible title here. Here come Connors and the Buckaroos, and how about this? Three-pointer. Josh Watterson all of a sudden comes off the bench and scores 5 quick points, and now the Buckaroos on top by 3. 3:19 to go. It's the first period, 8-5 score. Here's Driscoll, swings it around to Jenkins for 3. That's good. How about Jenkins with 4 points to start off the first period, and it's tied up again at 8. 3:01 to go in the first period as Connors brings it across. They get a Studebaker at the baseline, wide open jumper, and that's good.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a hand in his face, Chad. He'll make that all day long.
He averages 14 points per game right there. It was wide open and nobody on him. Here comes Jenkins back the other way for the Indians, right to left across the timeline. Klekus now on the far wing will get it to Dumas, who will go baseline. He'll try to feed it down low to Pearson, but will come off the foot of one of the Buckaroos, and it will be Indians ball underneath their own basket. Now with 2:44 to go and still tied at 10-8 now our score, as the Buckaroos on top by 2. So we've had 3 lead changes, Roy. The Indians have only led once, and it's early on, so this is the kind of game I was expecting really when I woke up this morning, though. Here's the Indians. They get the rebound. They do it all the way out to midcourt with Driscoll. It's the Buckaroos in a 2-3 zone defense as the Indians swing it around the horn. Now back to Klekus. He'll take it for 3. That's no good. The rebound, long rebound, is fought for, and Connors comes up with it. Connors now will have to terminate his dribble as it's good defense on the part of Matt Driscoll working against him. Here comes Watterson, who's been hot the last couple of times down the floor, trying to get it back to Connors, who's double-teamed. Now it leaves Watterson open, and Studebaker now on the baseline will take it to the hoop. Too hard off the glass. Klekus is there for the rebound. He's going to bring it down, and now will work his way back towards midcourt, and finally crosses the timeline with 2:05 to go, and down by 2. Klekus all the way to the hoop, coast to coast.
Oh, charge
and
again,
he's going to get hammered with the charge, and we could see foul trouble here. Alan Honey Astua has 2, and I believe that's the second on Chris Klekus.
Well, it's Nathan Klekus. Yeah, it's a good thing the Elko's bench is deep. And Chad, going back to that full court pressure, I'm a little bit surprised Elko's not putting it on for 2 reasons. One is it creates turnovers and allows them to get easy buckets off of it, which in turn allows them to set up the full court pressure again. The other thing that it does, Chad, is it tends to wear their opponents out. And we've seen it twice before with Winnemucca get tired, and Elko is so deep on their bench, we don't see them get tired.
Here comes Connors across the timeline, left to right, and he looks to get it down low and can't. The Indians are there to put a foot in front of it, and it'll be Lowry's ball. And a timeout on the floor. And Coach Chris Klekus wants to talk about it and give his guys a little break. We'll take one as well. 1:52 to go in the first period. The state championships from LOWRY Event Center. The Indians down by 2. It's 10-8. We'll be back after this. You're listening to 1240 Radio Sports.
Did you know your teen's brain continues to develop into their early 20s, or that alcohol can prevent the full development of a teenager's brain? Or visit www.pace-coalition.org.
Chad Hardy, Roy Haggerty back live. Lowry Event Center is the site for the 2012 NIAA 3A State Basketball Championships presented by the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Farmers Insurance Group. It's 10-8. The Indians down by 2, taking on the Buckaroos from Winnemucca at Lowry High School. And Elko High School basketball being brought to you this afternoon by Arctic Circle. Get the good stuff. Fifth Gear Power Sports, Elko's Power Sports Authority, and Encore Audio Video Design. Stop by the Elko Junction Shopping Center for the big game sale, which is always going on. How about this? Across the timeline comes Connors, and he gets it to Watterson. Watterson now swings it all the way across court back to Connors, and they'll look down low and get it up and in. And that was number 43 putting it up and in. Garrett Navarine, he checks into the ball game and gives Studebaker a rest. He goes right to the hoop and scores 2.
Studebaker might be on the bench, Chad, but Lowry's coming out the same game plan. They're going to try and pound the ball deep under the basket and get easy short baskets.
Cody Nielsen checks into the ball game for the Elko Indians and has it. Gives it up to DJ Natty. DJ Natty's in the paint, needs to get rid of it. Finally does to Clekus. Clekus is on the floor, and they're going to call him with another charge. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not his fault. It was sort of a bad pass by DJ Natty. He left his feet to go get the pass and was caught in no man's land.
There's nothing he could do there. It really would have been a 5-second or a foul. I would have rather taken the 5 seconds and get him in foul trouble. It's the largest lead for the Buckaroos so far this afternoon, but it's early. 1:11 to go in the first period. They're up by 4, 12-8. Connors across the timeline, left to right. They'll get it to Studebaker, who turns around, gets it down low to number 11, Titus Milliken. He puts it up and in off the glass, and now it's a 6-point lead for the Buckaroos. Here comes Dumas across the timeline. And now he'll dribble, kick it out to Clekus. Clekus kicks it back out to Dumas. Dumas goes baseline, now will drive in. Gets it out to Nielsen. Nielsen with the left-handed dribble to Natty. Natty with a rainbow jumper is air ball. Way too hard and way far over the basket. Not a good shot by DJ Natty. Across the timeline come the Buckaroos. It's Milliken with the ball. He'll get it to Connors in the corner. Connors drives, terminates, jump shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Dumas. Dumas will now clear it out, and the Indians have a chance to get the last shot off here and close the gap. It's 14-8 with Nielsen with the ball. The freshman drives in the paint and gets it rejected. Rejected immediately. Wow, that was number 4, Titus Milliken, and the Indians get it back. They take the shot, and that's no good, and now Lowry's got the rebound with 7 seconds to go first period, and they look to get it down low, but the ball's thrown in front of Garrett Navarine and out of bounds. So with 5 seconds left on the clock, it'll be the Indians back the other way, and a chance to get one final shot off here, down by 6.
Boy, Chad,
14-8 our score.
If that was a better pass right there, it's an easy layup, and we have a 16-8 score.
And they get it in. Full court pressure by the Buckaroos. Dumas up ahead. He gets it to Natty, over the head of Natty, and out of bounds. And the Indians here in the last 3 minutes have not played Indians basketball. It doesn't even look like the same team we've seen in the past 3 games.
I'm going to go back to the full court pressure. It helps get them in sync. It creates turnovers. It creates easy shots, easy buckets. Maybe we'll go to it.
That'll do it for 1, and the Indians down by 6, 14-8 at the end of the first period. From LOWRY Event Center, it's the 2012 NIAA Class 3A State Basketball Championships presented by the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Farmers Insurance Group. It will turn in a moment. We'll be back. The Indians 8, Lowry 14. You're listening to 1240 Radio Sports.
Elko Federal Credit Union is proud to support local sports. Get the good stuff.
1240 Radio Sports coverage of the NIAA 2012 3A Championships. Brought to you by Farmers Insurance Group and the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Starting the second period, and not the way we want to. Jency Studebaker taking it to the hoop, up and in for 2. It's now an 8-point lead for the Lowry Buckaroos as the Indians come across midcourt, right to left. It's Tim Mayo. Tim Mayo to Nielsen to DJ Natty across the horn, and looking and looking and looking down low is Natty. Nothing there. He'll get it to Dumas now finally, who will come out and get it. Natty just outside the free throw line, swings it out to Jenkins. Jenkins now back passes here to Dumas as the Buckaroos go to man-to-man defense, and Dumas takes it to the hoop, puts it up. Too hard, no good. They can't get anything to fall, and they're down by 8.
Wants it.
Across the timeline comes Connors. Studebaker cleared out for the rebound there, huh? And wide open, down low. Another shot. Studebaker's there again for the rebound.
Chad, it's a simple case. The Indians are getting beat in the half-court offense, and right now Winnemucca looks like they want it more.
He gets it to Titus Milliken, who puts it up and in off the glass, and the Indians now down by 10. 18-8, 6:54 to go, second period. And they've got to get something going here.
Killing them on the boards.
Fresh legs in there. DJ Natty to Nielsen. They're just not in sync right now. Jenkins on the near wing will look to drive and kick it back out. Now we'll take the tray.
Three-pointer. Well, we can see that guy close the gap in a hurry, Chad. He hit a couple of big buckets last night.
I've seen him hit 6 3-pointers in one game, so he gets the tray at 6.5 to go. The Indians fight back within 7. It's 18-11, and Studebaker outside the three-point line will drive inside, take it to the hoop,
Man,
up and
he's
in.
just having his way.
They're going to call that a charge, and it comes back for the Indians the other way. That shot's no good. And the ref gets a nice call there. We needed something to go our way here.
Well, he had beat his defender, and the guy came over to help, and maybe he took the charge, but Studebaker's just being an animal underneath the basket right now, Chad. He wants this.
It's 6:22 to go, and the Indians down by 7 now. Here comes Jenkins, and Jenkins with the left-handed dribble across the timeline. He'll set up to the near side, and Matt Driscoll down low to Mayo, and a foul called on number 40. That's going to be the first against Chris Denderry, and Chris Denderry picking up one, so the Indians will have it underneath their own basket now and trying to close that gap. The Indians have led one time in this, and that came early on in the first period. Here comes the inbounds pass to Dumas. Jenkins in the corner looks at that three and decides, nah, I'll swing it back out. They get it to Driscoll now on the far wing, and here's Jenkins. Jenkins now drives, puts it up from 10. Good.
Beautiful little floater. Chad, they're respecting him from the three-point line, and now he's able to drive right past his defender.
The freshman has 9 points. Early on here, Indians driving, and Lowry driving, and they are going to call the charge. Yes, they are.
Good job by Dumas.
That was number 51 taking it to the hoop, Dion Wardell, and he's going to draw the foul. So it looks like inbounds pass comes from Dumas, and it looks like Connors will come out to greet Brandon Jenkins at the mid-court mark. And here comes Jenkins across the timeline now. He'll get it to DJ Natty on the far side. Natty looking down low. There's nothing there. And he'll bring it out to Dumas. Dumas now towards midcourt, right on the Nevada Wolfpack logo. Now for 3, it's Dumas, and that's no good. The rebound fought for, tipped around, and finally brought down by the Buckaroos. They'll kick it out to Connors, and Connors comes across the timeline left to right. And he'll terminate, dribble, and set it up well at the top of the key. Indians working that man-to-man defense, and a drive inside, wide open layup, and that's up and good.
Chad, they're going to have to consider going to some sort of a zone defense to help underneath the basket, or they're going to get beat up all night long, looks like.
Chris Denderry had a nice look to the basket, puts it up with the left hand for 2. It comes at the 5-minute mark, 20-13 Buckaroos. Here's Mayo on the near wing as the Indians come across the timeline. DJ Natty now with the ball top of the key. Dumas, who has not yet made a shot in postseason play, gets it to Mayo down low. Turnaround jumper, no good. Kind of forcing that one. Was not in position.
It seems like Elko's hurrying all their shots.
Oh, that was a double dribble.
Right in front of us.
And we saw it. Number 32 bringing it across. Had the double dribble there. Jordan Renas. And the Buckaroos want a timeout. We'll take one as well. The Indians fighting their way back. They've been down by as many as 11. They're back within 7. It's 20-13. 4:43 to go, second period. We'll be back after this. You're listening to 1240 Radio Sports coverage of the NIAA Class 3A State Basketball Championships, KELK and Jack FM.